self-love journey, where we share our stories about how we overcame past trauma and where we are now. Welcome to the Queens Talk, Queens. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Queens Talk. I am Leslie from Brown Girls Embrace, and I have Whitney here. Hey, Whitney.
Hey.
How are you?
I'm good.
So this month is National Diabetes Awareness Month. So we're going to talk a little bit about diabetes and how we've been dealing with diabetes for the last couple of years. So can you go ahead and introduce yourself and tell the people about you and where you're from? And let me get into some comments. Oh, and feel free to comment in the chat if you have any questions for me or Whitney about diabetes or anything about the conversation tonight. And feel free to join the conversation.
Hi, guys. I am Whitney. I was diagnosed with diabetes at the age of 7 years old. Next year, I've had diabetes for 30 years. I'm telling y'all my age. For 30 years, it has had its ups and downs, but more ups now once my mindset changed around the autoimmune disease.
Right. And I've had diabetes since I was 9 years old. So that's about almost 20 years for me. I'm 33, so yeah, almost 20 years for me. And it hasn't been easy. It's had its ups and its downs. I also have anxiety and depression, and having diabetes doesn't make that any easier. For me, I'm a worrier. Just naturally, I'm a worrier anyway. Worrying about if I'm going to have an amputation, if I'm going to be blind, or just a whole lot of stuff that comes with it. And you know that diabetes is a silent killer. So even though we look like nothing is wrong with us and we walk around like nothing is fine, sometimes we go through a lot and you not even know because we going through it within ourselves. So yeah.
I agree with that.
Yes.
I agree with that.
So let's get into some questions that we got together tonight.
Well, I want to just say I do believe that diabetes can get easier with time.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And with a change of mindset, I just feel like once you realize you have diabetes and diabetes doesn't have you, then you can live. You can live a normal life. I hear the worry about the amputations and the blindness, and yes, that does come with diabetes. But I just feel like, why worry about that?
Yeah.
If it's not here, if you are taking care of yourself, it's like sometimes we think about things and bring those things on just because we thought about it. Like, diabetes is a silent killer, but so is stress, so is depression, so is anxiety. So why bring that on yourself? Why bring that extra stress on yourself when you already had diabetes?
Yes. Thanks for mentioning that, Whitney. I want to address a comment. Monique. Hey, Monique.
Hey, Mo. I know you all. Sorry, we can't read it. It's going to come. I love you all. Don't let diabetes define you. We working on it.
Yes.
We working on it, girl. I really feel like it's the mindset change. Like, I really feel like it. Really is.
But I'm happy you said that, because Brown Girls Embrace is all about embracing things for what it is. Like, not stressing about it. And that's what I preach. It's just to embrace the diabetes, embrace the stress, embrace the anxiety, embrace it, and just learn how to live with it, because we can't change it. It is what it is. It's in our DNA now. Like, there's no going back. We're
going to have it for the rest of our lives. So we determine what type of life we want to live. Like, do we want to live a life of quality, or do we want to live a poor life? Like, and at some point, while we're in our 30s, if we start now, just imagine, like, we can live until we're 80 or 90 years old, just like everybody else.
And people have lived a long time with diabetes.
And that is a stigma. That is one of the stigmas, but we're going to get into that later.
Hold on 1 second. Keep talking to, because I'm going to charge my...
I'm about to say, did you need me to get the charger? Sorry, y'all.
Sorry. Keep talking.
So, yeah, that is a stigma. It's something we're going to touch on a little later on the episode while we're waiting for Leslie to get the charger to the computer. We don't want it to die on you guys. And she got it.
Okay. Okay, so let's get into some questions. And like I said, if y'all have any questions, feel free to comment in the chat, comment below. Don't forget to follow us on our Instagram channels. Instagram pages. Brown Girls Embrace
and exclusive_impressions. That's where you can find all of my hair stuff, going live, teaching you how to love your hair, how to love your stylist. You can see my shirt. It say I am myself, how to love yourself. So
yes,
all of those good things.
And follow me at Brown Girls Embrace _LOC. Okay. The first question I have is, tell us when you first became a diabetic.
I became a diabetic at the age of 7. You want to know the story of like what happened, or?
Yeah.
At the age of 7,
you were
prior. I do remember. I remember like it was yesterday. Prior to me being diagnosed with diabetes, I had a stomach virus from the Kennedy Center. I always say the Kennedy Center gave me diabetes. I did my research. It's really, really true in my head, y'all. So I was not eating, and my great grandmother, she said I was going to eat that specific day, and they brought me a Happy Meal from McDonald's, a chicken nugget Happy Meal. I took a sip of a strawberry soda, and then I regurgitated the soda, and the throw up was smelling. It smelled sweet. It smelled like the soda. So my mom knew it was something going on. She was doing her research prior to the week of me being sick with the stomach virus. She rushed me to in the DMV area. We used to have a blue children's hospital bus. So she rushed me to the bus, and they told her she needed to get me to the emergency room right then and there. All I remember was my mom crying, asking me my grandmother's number. I'm 7 years old. I don't know. This is when we had a car phone.
Oh, woo.
Yes, we had a car phone. And so she called my grandmother. She called everybody. We were on our way to the hospital. I was fine until we got to the hospital. Once we got to the hospital and they tried to give me IVs, that's when I went crazy.
Wow.
I was in the hospital for a week. All I wanted was a cheeseburger, and my last day, my doctor gave me a cheeseburger. So I was happy about that.
Okay. Let me address a comment. Mo said, I need some more body butters. Okay, I got you.
Yes, girl, we got the body butters. Look. Hold on. Look. We got the body butters. We got it.
So when I first became a diabetic, I remember I was 9 years old, and my father had passed away 6 months prior. So I was already sad due to his death. He committed suicide, unfortunately. And I was already going through, I was sad. I was so sad because I was a daddy's girl and I couldn't believe he left me, whatever. And then I kept, like, I would hang out with my cousins or whatever, and I would always be thirsty. Like, I'm like, I'm thirsty. She would give me something to drink, and I was like, I would pee, and I'm like, I'm thirsty. And I would pee, and I'm like, I'm thirsty. Like, it was a nonstop of thirst or whatever. So my cousin told my mom, like, I think she has diabetes or whatever. And then I remember me sitting in the little doctor's office room or whatever. Me with my little jeans dress on.
See, you remember,
right? My little tennis shoes. And the doctor said she has to take shots for the rest of her life. And the tears just rolled down my eyes like I got bad luck or something. Like, first my daddy left me, now I got this diabetes, and y'all gonna tell me, like, and then I really thought, like, I just thought that, like,
girl, I didn't know what was going on. They didn't tell me I had to take shots for the rest of my life. I probably would have been crying too. Yeah. They would have told me from the beginning.
Yeah, so that was that. And then school teachers thought that I was like trying to get out of the classroom. Like, if I say my sugar low, if I say my sugar's low, they're like, well, she just getting out of it because she don't want to do her work, or she don't really have to use the bathroom. And then my mom had to go and raise.
I was about to say, what did your mom do? Because I mean, this is things that happen to us as children with diabetes. I mean, one time my mom used to pack my lunch like every day, and one time one of my teachers was like, you know, you can't eat your lunch to the rest of the class. My mother came and wreaked havoc. She like, I pack her lunch every day. She need to eat it at a certain time. She's not going to wait for nobody else. There was plenty of times where I had episodes in school. I do remember, like, my mom had to come and show the class a video of me.
The whole class of video?
Yes, we had a DVD, and we showed the class a video of, like, me having diabetes, and this happened. This is what they need to do. And one time, one of my classmates, literally, I was having a low blood sugar, and she found me asleep in the toilet stall.
Ooh.
Like, I fell asleep.
After a low blood sugar?
Yes, and then I fell asleep also under the table. Like, my teachers used to let me sleep, though.
Yeah.
They used to let me sleep.
And this is just a disclaimer. Y'all don't know, after a low blood sugar, we feel exhausted. It feels like we fought a war.
I'm tired.
It feels like we've been running around the block so many times because that low blood sugar just leaves us with not a lot of energy left.
Yeah, it depletes you.
It's just not a good feeling. And sometimes you might see us shaking like this or whatever. Like, all of the nervous system is going on and working our system or whatever like that. But yeah, so when I got,
but everybody's low blood sugar is different because I can kind of feel when my blood sugar is going low, and then I'll start sweating. I don't really shake anymore. But as a child, I used to have seizures.
Wow. Oh, you never told me that.
Yeah, I used to have seizures.
Wow.
Yep. So I grew out a lot of stuff with diabetes, girl. I used to have seizures. That's why I couldn't spend a night at nobody's house.
Oh, okay. Got you.
Yeah.
Monique says, I remember giving you, read it, because I'm not reading right.
I remember you would administer insulin to yourself when we were young.
Yes,
girl. I ain't even gonna tell them the story.
I didn't know Whitney was
about the neighborhood, what they did to me in the neighborhood. I ain't even gonna tell that story, but
I forgot that you and Whitney grew up together.
She said my coworker told me her niece was constantly thirsty and kept drinking milk. The doctor said the milk saved her life. Really? I don't know. I haven't heard that, but
maybe that
something saved her. Yeah, it had maybe some type of sugar and some type of carbs that she needed at the time, or it balanced out at the time. I don't know. I used to drink a lot of milk as a kid too.
Really?
Yeah, I had a milk cavity.
Okay, I was lactose intolerant, so I didn't drink milk.
Oh wow, yeah, I don't drink milk now.
Yeah, but fast forward to middle school, girl, I went Buckwild in middle school.
I told you my Buckwild started in high school.
Yeah, I went Buckwild in middle school. Girl, I had to eat that school. I hated school lunch. Like, that was not my thing.
It wasn't for you.
Like, that was not my thing. So we had the vending machines in school. So, girl, my mother was like, go put the, I don't know if she watching, but she was like, this is your lunch money. Go put it on your code or whatever.
Hey, you spending it at the vending machine, getting what you want, and she trying to figure out why your blood sugar's so high. I understand. High school, same way. Let me tell you, one time I went to the ice cream truck in my neighborhood, and my godbrother went and told my mother that I had brought all this candy. I was like, why would you tell? Why would you give me all the candy? Give it here. So we do have those areas with having diabetes, especially young. We're human.
We don't know. We don't
live a perfect life. Like, we wanted to honestly be regular. Like,
exactly.
We wanted to be able to eat what we wanted to eat and drink what we wanted to drink. Now that we're adults, we can measure and carb count sometimes and guesstimate what we're not really supposed to do. But we can kind of have a better control over it than as a kid in middle school or high school trying to just be like everybody else.
Exactly. Exactly. So thanks, Lisa, for joining the chat.
Thank you.
Two other people in there. Comment in the chat. Let us know who you are, and we'll get back to some of these comments after we finish a few of these questions. But yeah, to go back to what you were saying, like, what's wrong?
Monique said, I'm glad you no longer ride with 50 bags of candy in the back seat.
Oh,
I used to have all the candy and did not need it.
In case I love blood sugar.
Girl, that was because I wanted to. Yeah,
that was
that's the story of diabetes.
Yeah, but so go back to what you were saying earlier. We were talking about how you had like special privileges because your mom was like, "This is your allotted sweet," so whatever. Because my mom, we had to cook, like, she's always cooked like a full course meal. Like, we cook chicken, vegetables, carbohydrates. It was fine. Now, I didn't want school lunch because I was used to food from home.
She should have made you that for your lunch.
But there was no microwave.
Oh.
So
no, they would have made a way. They should have took that in the teacher's lounge.
Let me.
Oh no, girl! Your mother had a lawsuit, child.
Now we know because I would not. I didn't like
my
school
mother
lunch.
did. My mother did.
Because I wasn't used, and I'm not trying to down on anybody who likes school lunches, but my mom cooked.
Nobody likes school lunch.
Some kids thrive off of it.
Nobody likes school lunch.
Yeah, well, that was my life. But then growing up or whatever, so my mom ended up homeschooling me because my numbers was out of control because I was eating from the vending machine. She couldn't control what I was eating. So she was like, I need to put some control on you because you're going to kill yourself. Because
well, that was good. That was good.
So as kids, like we said, we don't know what we're doing because we want to be normal.
Yeah. Like I was saying, like I felt that as a kid, but I really didn't because my mom would, she would get me, like my sisters and brothers and cousins would have their candy or whatever, and I would have mine too, but mine would be sugar-free. Mm-hmm. Like even when we used to have to eat dinner, I would have to wait 30 minutes, like after you take your insulin. This is back in the day. You had to take your insulin, then wait 30 minutes to eat. Like my mom used to I don't want to say make, but my brother and my sister had to wait for me.
Yeah.
I mean, my mother and father would eat, but my brother and sister, they had to wait for me to eat so we all can eat together. So it wasn't never like I felt left out. I kind of felt a little special. But I also knew my mom, like she just had my brother too. Me and my brother are 6 years apart, and I got diabetes at 7. So she has a 1-year-old child, a 7-year-old with diabetes. So it's kind of like, she
had a lot to deal with.
Yeah.
But that's good. Can I appreciate our moms now? Even how to get on our nerves.
Girl, I ain't even gonna say that. My mama might be watching.
Okay, so the next question is, what's the first thing when you hear the word diabetic? What's the first thing comes to mind when you hear the word diabetic?
The first thing that comes to my mind is I don't wish it on no one, especially a child. When it comes to type 1 diabetes, I really do not wish that on nobody because type 1 diabetes, you will have it for the rest of your life. I know there's so many Instagram and TikToks and pure diabetes, and we're going to always need insulin. You might need less insulin if you do a raw vegan diet, or, you may need less insulin, but diabetics with type 1 diabetes, our bodies does not produce insulin at all. People with type 2 diabetes, you guys, my opinion is you guys can reverse it because your bodies produce insulin, but just not enough to cover the sugars that you're eating. Ours doesn't produce any at all. So I do not wish that on nobody. It has been a journey. It's going to be a journey for the rest of my life. But like I stated before, I believe the mindset plays a big part in it. I really do. I wasn't me and Leslie been friends maybe like a year and a half now. And when she first met me, I was up to beat. But then I went through a stage and it wasn't good. And after that stage, I just really changed my mindset about it. Yeah. Am I going to let it beat me? No. So,
yeah, I do think it's a mindset thing. For me, I was in denial. I never addressed, I went through the phases of having diabetes, but really to sit with it and be like, nah, girl, you got this. Mm-hmm. And it wasn't until the pandemic where I'm just like, I'm not going to be brushing it off or sweeping it under the rug like, oh, let me just take this shot real quick. Or let me just, do this real quick. It's just like.
That's what the pandemic did.
It sat you down and really had to face reality and be like, I got this and I'm going to deal with it. And I'm going to find people who deal with it too and create a support group and embrace it. And
that's how we met because I was going through that and I couldn't. I was at a point where it's like I can't have diabetes and be a hairstylist. Let me find somebody else who's doing the same thing.
Oh, let's talk about that
because too. I need some help here. Like I'm going down this spiral road. Let me see if somebody else is dealing with the same stuff. So I don't know how I found you, but I think I typed in hairstylist with diabetes. I really think I typed that and you came up.
Wow, that's crazy. And let me tell you that me and Whitney both have similar backgrounds. We were raised very much so alike. We both do hair. We both have type 1 diabetes. And I want to talk about diabetes while you're a hairstylist, like getting a low blood sugar while you have a client. How does that work?
I mean, I am not good at that, y'all. But when
you don't stop?
not all of the time. Like, say for instance,
y'all, all the clients out there.
Yes.
Ask Whitney what her blood sugar is before she passed out.
They do. But for instance, like if I could feel it coming on and I'm like, I know I can finish this curl real quick.
Girl, how do you have the strength?
I told you I can feel when my blood sugar is okay, so I can feel when my blood sugar is getting low. It's like 69. But you know that's really not low because your blood sugar is supposed to be 70 or above. So I can feel that. So I'm like, okay, it's probably at 69.
But it's dropping.
Like, it's dropping. But I'm like, okay, I can catch it before it gets too bad. And then, you know, I eat something. I really do. I tell my clients now, I'm like, oh, my blood sugar low. I need to get something. And I'll be like, oh, that's me beeping. Like that's my insulin pump.
That's the thing. Beep so loud.
That's my Dexcom. It's just me going on. But at first I was ashamed. At first I didn't want to get the insulin pump. At first I didn't want to get a Dexcom. At first I didn't want to get none of that stuff because how we grew up, it was test your blood sugar, take your insulin. We don't know about this stuff being attached to us 3 days, consistently for 3 days and consistently for 10 days. That was, you know, a shocker to us. But it really helps for anybody out there with diabetes type 1, and you can get you an insulin pump or a Dexcom and an insulin pump.
So let me say this too. First of all, back in the day when me and Whitney were younger, we would have to actually prick our fingers and draw blood every 5 times a day, 5 or 6 times a day. But now we don't. We have modern technology where we can just look on our phones and see what our blood sugars is. And like insulin can be injected to us.
No more pricking my fingers, having little.
So modern technology has helped in your fingers tremendously with because most diabetics don't like pricking their finger. I don't know no diabetic that like drawing blood and pricking themselves 5 times a day. Because I wasn't doing it in school.
No.
It wasn't until I got the modern technology where things got better for me.
And you learn to look at your blood sugar on the phone.
Yeah, because
that's the main thing to controlling diabetes is keeping your blood sugars in range.
Yes. Monique says, I remember what would have to come with a small
black pouch with her needles and insulin. Yeah. Girl, back in the day, we have grown so much.
Yeah, we don't have to carry that around no more. It's on our phone. Girl. But if you hear our phone going off, there's something wrong. It's beeping. And most of our clients and our friends are like, they'll ask me, Leslie, what is it? How low? Like, so if you
my clients always ask, did you eat today? Did you eat today?
But if you know the sound of the Dexcom when the alarm goes,
don't be telling my secrets.
They know. All right, but the next question is, when the doctors ask you what your A1C is, does it stress you out? And for those of you I don't know, that's what your blood sugar is for the last 3 months. Like, what's the average blood sugar for the last 3 months? That's what an A1C is. So when the doctor say, well, your A1C is this, do you get stressed out when you hear the number?
Not anymore. I used to, y'all. This is bad, but ups and downs. I'm human. I was doing what I wanted to do. I was out of control. I had bags of candy. Y'all heard most say that. So my A1C used to be very, very high. It used to be 13. I got it down to 9 to 7. They say 6.5 is your range, but I don't let it stress me out anymore because I went to a nutritionist and she showed me it was a display of what your body looks like and how much sugar is in it with whatever your A1C is. And so I was like, well, that one has a lot of sugar over it. That was like a 13. And then she showed me a 9. I'm like, well, that doesn't have that much. She was like, yes, you know, the less your A1C is, the less sugar you have in your body. So,
and the less insulin we got to take.
Yes. And so, like, doctors sometimes try to have you be this perfect diabetic with A1Cs and things like that. And it's like, it doesn't happen like that. Here I go again. You got to change your mindset. I went to one doctor and I used to try to play victim of having diabetes and why me? Because you do go through that. He said, you know what? He said, it's up to you. He said, there are plenty of people with diabetes that that work out, that live a quality life. He was like, it's up to you what you're going to do with it. It stuck with me. It took me about a year for it to come to my mind, but I don't let A1C stress me out anymore. Now, have I before? Very much so. Like, doctors, I just feel like they put too much pressure on that.
Yeah. And I've called Whitney when I've had incidents of bad nights, and I'm like, the ambulance called me. She's like, girl, it happens. Like, the ambulance is going to come for us every now and then.
Yes.
Like, it's going to happen. Like, that's just a part of our life. Not everyday life, but
you can't tell me that there's a diabetic out here that hasn't experienced some of the things that you have experienced. Mm-hmm. It happens. Our body has something inside of it that's telling us no, don't do that. You know, sometimes we do it anyway.
And exactly.
Yeah. So we're not proud of it, guys, but we are proud of our working towards having diabetes. We having diabetes and diabetes not having us.
Exactly. So the next question is, what is the common misconception about diabetes?
Is that it's a common misconception, but it also has some truth to it. They tell you can't eat what everybody else eats. You can eat what you want, but all in moderation, just like everybody else. Everybody else is moderation. That's how we should be, just as humans. Period. Is just eating in moderation.
Unhealthy lifestyle.
But I mean, you may want that chip today, but not want it tomorrow. Just don't go overboard.
Exactly.
It's moderation. We crave some of the things that you guys crave. You know, we women, we have, and that's another thing. We have menstrual cycles. Sometimes your blood sugar may run a little higher or a little lower because of your menstrual cycle. So it's not a everyday same thing type of day. We are a science project every day.
I like that. Science
every project. Single day, we are a science project. When I wake up in the morning, this morning, maybe my blood sugar was 7. Tomorrow, it may be 120. Like, it's not the same thing.
Yeah.
Every single
and everybody's day. Different. Like, my experience and Whitney's experience can be totally different in how our blood sugars react to stuff because our bodies are different.
Yeah.
You know, God created us differently.
Yeah.
The common misconception about diabetes is, oh, well, you better stop eating sugar so you won't have diabetes anymore. That's uneducated statement. And it's just a little sugar. It's not just a little sugar. Or like they compare diabetes to high blood pressure. Like diabetes is a lot more strenuous than high blood pressure. Our kidneys don't produce enough insulin.
No, your pancreas.
Our pancreas doesn't produce enough insulin. I don't even know the word. Our pancreas don't produce enough insulin. Therefore, we have to inject insulin back into our cells. We take shots. I take shots 4 times a day. And Whitney has the pump. So
I have insulin pump, girl. I ain't taking not near another shot. I ain't pricking not near another finger.
Yeah, so
it's 30 years. You know?
So it's a little bit more than just high blood pressure. Like I said earlier, it is the silent killer. If we don't take care of ourselves, we could serious things. We could die from it. You can die from high blood pressure too, but just a lot of things come with it, like losing your eyesight.
You have to constantly think. You have to constantly think about what and how much you're putting in your body. Mm-hmm. Yes, and how is it going to affect you? Like, how are you going to feel after you eating this or drinking this or did this activity or exercise or whatever the case may be? Like, you really have to think about that and be conscious about that daily.
Mo has a question. She says, do you all feel like stress plays a part in your sugar being high or low?
Yes. When you stress,
because that nervous system up. So let me break this down to you. The nervous system in your body plays a big part of your blood sugar. So if we work out, sometimes when I work out, my blood sugar is high because I'm working out so hard that my body's like, what is going on? So it's high, but it'll come down eventually. When I'm stressed, we could eat perfectly, eat no sugar, no alcohol, no nothing, and our sugar is high because we're stressed out about something, because our nervous system plays effect on our blood sugar.
Mo, you know a reason with diabetes why I had to stop some stuff, because I was too stressed out. And it was either me. I'm going to tell y'all, I had a brick and mortar. I closed my business, but it was either me and diabetes, or it was either my business going to kill me with diabetes. And I just let it go.
Yeah. And that's another thing too, that me and Winnie have in common. We're both entrepreneurs. I said earlier, I do my shea butters and my podcast and hair, and I have a regular job. But being an entrepreneur, that's not easy either, being a diabetic, because it will shut you up, because we don't know the half, like I'm saying we don't know the half of it, but we're learning as we go. But being organized and financials and this and the this and the that and advertising and marketing, it's so much to being entrepreneurs. And then you put diabetes on top of that, and meal prepping and exercising and working out to put all that into life. So our lives can be pretty hectic. So Whitney was talking to me earlier about, oh, well, this weekend I think I want to chill at home, because we live such busy lives. And with added the diabetes don't make it no easier.
No. And if your blood sugar runs high, you will be more tired, more exhausted. And then after a low blood sugar, you're exhausted again. So getting our proper rest is really a big thing with having diabetes. I want to go back to a misconception about diabetes and older people or the older generation just calling it sugar. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, why they call it sugar? And I'm like,
they call it sugar.
Yeah, they call it sugar. That's not what it is.
The professionals don't call it that.
No, it doesn't say you have sugar diabetes. Right. You have diabetes and you're a diabetic.
Yeah. Hey, Erica. Thanks for joining the chat.
Hey, Erica.
Yeah. So the next question is, what's something that you want people to know about diabetes?
Something I want people to know about diabetes or diabetics is that we are regular too. Like we're regular people, especially if you're an adult with diabetes. Say for instance, like you said, it's holiday season, coming around. Like we don't need family member hounding us about what we have on our plates. Like or we know what we're kind of doing around this season, holiday season. So I would just tell people with diabetes, like, don't beat yourself up so much. You are human. Things happen. There are times where my CGM to my Omnipod is dead. I expressed to you, I saw that on one young lady's post today on Instagram. Like her CGM was dead. She didn't have another one, but she didn't stress out about it, because it's like, what could you do right now in the moment? I'm not going to stress out about it, So I would just say, give yourself some grace with diabetes. It's not perfect. Have a positive mindset about it, because it can bring negative thoughts. It could bring the why me. It could bring all of those type of thoughts. So I would just say, give yourself some grace. And having diabetes, it's okay. You can still live your life. You can still travel the world. You can still experience different things. And I say it all the time, diabetes doesn't have me, I have it.
Yeah, I like that. One thing I want people to know about diabetes is that it is serious. And if my biggest thing is when I'm tired, or if I can't go out, if I don't have the energy to go out, or I want you to know, don't take it personal. It's just the diabetes that's worn me out.
And you shouldn't have to explain that.
I don't have the energy to go out. A lot of people are like, oh, what's she so tired for? Because you don't know what kind of day I have my blood sugar, where it was up and down and it messed me up. Or I didn't have enough sweets, or I didn't have enough candy in the car to give me my sugar or whatever like that. Or it's a lot that comes with diabetes, and I just give it some grace. Like, be more understanding, be more supportive.
Yes, please be more understanding. I did have, a young lady I was acquaintances with, but she made a diabetes joke, and I didn't take it. I took it personal. I got offended by it. I mean, I let her know, like, that's not a joke, but I really did not continue a friendship with her, because it's not a joke. Yeah. It's not a joke to be joking about, oh, my sugar low, and you don't have diabetes. That's not a joke.
Yeah.
That's not a joke.
Yeah. So, yeah, especially since we've been through a lot with it. Erica has a question. I'm Mrs. Tech. So do you all use CGMs, and what kind do you have? So I have the Dexcom, and Whitney, what do you have?
I have Dexcom too, and I also have Omnipod for the insulin pump.
Yeah, so the Dexcom is really good for checking your blood sugars. So it's two different kinds that I know. I've had the Freestyle Libre, which is the one you put on your arm. And then my doctor transferred me over to the Dexcom, and that's really been beneficial. And no, the blood sugar won't be so accurate on the phone as it is as a fingerprint, but it's good enough for me. So it's not as accurate as a fingerprint.
It's good enough. When you had diabetes for 20 years, 30 years, we in the money. Yes. How about insulin pump? How does one work? My mom is diabetic type 2. Okay, so with the insulin pump, it's something like a little phone you have. It's the Omnipod. It's something like a little phone you have, and basically you go to your doctor. They adjust it to the insulin you need at this time of day, how much insulin you need at this time of day, and you use it. You change it every 3 days. It's a pod that goes to it. Let me see if I can pull my shirt up. I don't know, it's a little tight over here. It's a little pod that goes to it. So you wear it on the back of your arm. You can wear it on your thighs. You can wear it on your stomach. I prefer it on my arm. It's much easier. But it has saved my life, to be honest. I don't have to worry about taking insulin. I don't have to worry about waking up, testing my blood sugar and taking my insulin. Basically, I see what my blood sugar is from the Dexcom, and then I put my blood sugar into the Omnipod, and it gives me the amount of insulin to my blood sugar ratio and to the amount of carbohydrates that I would eat.
Nice. And I still take the insulin pen.
So I used to be on that too, y'all.
I take the manual changer.
It's a game changer.
Yes. Mm-hmm. So I hope that explains some of your questions. Is it okay to eat cake and pie this holiday season? Just drink water after. So you can eat the pie,
but don't go overboard. We said moderation.
Yes.
Moderation. Don't be eating all the cakes and pies. Just a little slice.
And that's another thing. I am a wine drinker, and if I feel like I'm drinking a little bit more wine, I just take some more insulin.
They say don't do that, but guys, I've been following a lot of new, honestly, diabetics on Instagram. I follow actually a nurse practitioner that is a diabetic, and having a community and a circle, it really helps you not to stress out about it so much, because you see now with the internet, you see there's other people out here like you, a lot of them out here like you, and it's like, oh girl, that happened to you too. Okay, that happened to me. All right, I'm good. We're not gonna allow diabetes to kill us, but it's good to have that community where it's like, girl, I had a bad day today. You all right? Okay, now you better today. It's really good to have that. And the nurse practitioner that I follow, she talk about her blood sugars going up and down all the time, and she's a nurse practitioner.
Right.
So
Erica said, what are some good breakfast options for diabetics? For me, I have coffee every morning, but I don't have any sugar. So I just do 2 creamers and some cinnamon. And then I have like a piece of sausage and some eggs and a piece of toast. So that's good for me. But everybody's breakfast look different. I'm not that hungry. A lot hungry in the morning. What do you do for breakfast?
For breakfast, I do turkey bacon, boiled eggs, avocado, and tea. Yeah, so that's pretty much my breakfast when I do make breakfast.
Yeah.
But
oatmeal is good.
Oatmeal is good. Grits are good. Scrambled eggs, boiled eggs, like things that's not gonna per se raise your blood sugar with a lot of carbs. That's another thing people don't realize. Carbs is what turns into sugar and what raises your blood sugar. That's why we have to do carb counting instead of looking at the sugar content on the back of the labels. You need to pay attention more to the carbohydrates.
And honestly, coffee does raise your sugar. The caffeine in the coffee raises your sugar. So that's why I don't eat that many carbs in my breakfast, because I know that the coffee is going to raise my sugar by itself anyway.
Exactly. So that's carb counting, because you just basically, that's, say for instance, that's your 30 grams of carbs. So you're not going to eat 4 slices of toast. So you do it. You do your ratio. You eat what you like. Moderation. You do what works for you with diabetes, and get yourself a community.
And I don't have, since my doctor did suggest that I have like the sugar-free creamers, but I don't like the sugar-free creamer, so I just substitute the sugar for just the creamer alone. And I have 2 different. I have the hazelnut and the vanilla, and I mix it
your options.
And then that's perfect for me. But everybody's body is different. And even sodas elevate your blood sugar. Like, I don't know if people think, oh, well, it's a diet soda. It's still going to elevate your blood sugar because it's caffeine.
So I don't drink soda.
Oh, you don't?
Oh, no.
I didn't know that.
I went to the doctor one time. My doctor used to be raw. He said, you just drinking poison. You just drinking poison. And once he told me that, that same day, I have not drank. If I drink a soda, it's like a sip, and it's like a small, like the small one is like that. It's just to crave curb a craving.
Yeah,
but I don't drink soda.
Oh,
it's poison.
I do once a month. You know what that means.
Okay.
But do you drink the diet soda?
No.
I mean, not diet soda. It's like diet tea.
No.
So nothing diet. So what do you drink?
Water, regular tea, or sparkling water. Sometimes I drink lemonade and tea. It depends, but no. Oh, okay. Simply Lemonade Light is in my refrigerator right now. So no, I don't drink soda.
Oh, Simply Light Lemonade. Oh, yeah. That's another good option. Okay, so this last question. Let me find it.
Let's see. What I was on breakfast. Okay. Is okay.
Okay. So what's one thing you would tell to your younger self with diabetes?
My younger self with diabetes, I would tell myself, girl, you got this. I would tell my younger self that, because while I was younger, I didn't think I had it, especially when in high school. Like I didn't think I was gonna make it, child. I was like, look, now I can't do this. Everybody else around me drinking, everybody else around me eating candy, everybody else around me doing this, and I went through the why me phase and all of that stuff. But it's like, girl, you got this. Like, you got this.
Yeah. I would tell myself this too, as I said, you got this, brown girl, like the confirmation that you got this, and it's going to be okay, even though you see like there's not going to be any better days than this. Like all the high blood sugars and the doctors fussing at you and your mama fussing at you, like you better get it together. And it was a lot of pressure for me personally growing up. But I'm happy that I'm saying my A1C was 6. It's never been 6 in my whole life. And the doctor said it's supposed to be under 7 or 6. And it was finally 6, and it's due to the Dexcom that I'm able to check my blood sugar electronically on my phone. So I'm just grateful that that's happened. I do need to work out more. We've been working out more. And thank you, Whitney, for being my accountability partner, my friend, when I need to talk to you about diabetes, because I don't have a lot of friends. Well, you might be my only friend that's a diabetic. And
I have another friend that's a diabetic. So we're going to build this diabetes community too with brown girls. So if you know any brown girls with diabetes that may, need somebody to talk to or need some sisters, we gave out our Instagrams. Tell them to DM us. We're willing to talk. We're able to talk. Just like I found Leslie on the internet looking for hairstylists with diabetes. I mean, it's easy to find, guys. Get yourself a community if you have diabetes type 1 or type 2, because you can't do it alone. You can't do it by yourself. And people without diabetes does not understand what people with diabetes go through on a daily basis, with mental wellness, with physical wellness, with just life in general.
Yeah, because before I met you, I really didn't talk about diabetes. Only with my doctor I was talking about, because my friends didn't understand it. So I didn't have anybody to really confide in it about, like, to relate to what I'm going through. And it does help. Like when I told you when I have an episode, you're like, don't trip, it happens. Let's just move on. Like,
girl, I done had a lot of God done saved me a lot of nights, a lot of mornings, a lot of things that I'm not going to say I shouldn't have done, because those things definitely taught me how to be now with diabetes. It taught me how to, okay, girl, you got to change your mindset about this. Like, okay, it taught me those things. So, I mean, everybody's journey is different. It's what you make it. Like I said, we're going to tap into the positive things about having diabetes and not, so much focus on having it. And
just embracing it. And if you have a friend with diabetes, just be a listening if they need to talk, be supportive. If they have low blood sugar, wait till like I said, after a low blood sugar, we feel like we do for the war. So just give them some time to be patient for us to snap back into it.
I really have to say I appreciate my clients, because there has been some mornings where I woke up and my blood sugar was low, and I would text them and say, hey, it's not a good morning. I had a low blood sugar and I need to lay back down for a second, maybe like 10, 15 minutes. And they really will be okay with that. Like, so it's about communication, especially letting people know you have diabetes, because you can't look at neither one of us and see and say we have diabetes type 1.
You're like, oh, you don't look like you're a diabetic. Like, what is a diabetic supposed to look like?
What is a diabetic supposed to look like?
Right. All
Okay.
right, see, it's one more question. This is good information. Yes, thank you all. I appreciate you all for coming tonight. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to either Whitney on your Instagram. Tell me your Instagram again.
Exclusive_impressions.
And mine is Brown Girls Embrace _LLC. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe to my YouTube channel. Follow us on Instagram and send a message. And if you're watching the replay, comment in the chat below and tell us what you think about the conversation. All right, it's Happy National Diabetes Awareness Month. Talk to you later.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.